Of the many virtual worlds in the metaverse, there's one that stands out from the crowd in a number of ways. Entropia Universe was developed by a team in Sweden. This very European virtual world is actually set in outer space. The story goes that in the distant future, humanity discovers a distant world that is suitable for colonization, and so the human race is relocated to a distant world. In the early years of the colony, robots run amok, and after a devastating conflict, the colonists rebuild. The robots are still out there, and it's still an issue, so the new arrival in Entropia is in for a wild ride. To find out more, we cross now live to Entropia, and it's good evening to John Bates.
Good evening.
Hello there, John. How's the weather up there in Entropia Universe?
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here in Entropia.
Never ever rains. It's always 25 degrees and mild.
Well, pretty much right now, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much right now.
Tell us about the origins of Entropia Universe. Who's behind it?
Well, the Entropia Universe is the brainchild of a Swedish entrepreneur named Jan Velter Timkrans, who was a very successful entrepreneur for quite a while. And then in 1995, he had the idea for a virtual world with a real cash economy. And so that's when work on Project Entropia began. And then in 1998, Mindark, the company that creates Entropia Universe, was formed, and the sole purpose of Mindark was to develop the Entropia Universe and the Entropia Universe platform. And then in 2003, we went live as Project Entropia. And then in 2005, we switched it from Project Entropia, when everything was stable and working well, to Entropia Universe.
So it's all still reasonably new, and certainly the graphics are really quite impressive. What sort of growth rates have you had in this short period of time?
Well, I think it's definitely pretty new, and in a lot of ways, we still consider ourselves to be in beta for the platform. Entropia Universe, the planet Calypso, is basically a proof of concept for us, and we've had tremendous growth in. We've got well over 700,000 registered accounts, and that's a more meaningful number than in some other worlds, because you're actually connecting your account to a bank account, and it really doesn't make sense to have more than one account in Entropia Universe. So well over 700,000 registered accounts. Excuse me. And an interesting figure, in 2007, we had more than 400 million US dollars change hands in our world. So there's a lot going on in there as well.
Now, I imagine that most of your members would be Europeans. Would that be right?
Yeah, people think that generally, but really we're about 40% European, 40% US, and 20% everywhere else. And one of the things that I think you guys see, and one of the things that we love about being a virtual world, is that we're global. So we've got people from over 200 different countries playing inside Entropia Universe. So that's one of the things that I personally love about worlds like Entropia Universe, is that we get people from all over the world, playing together, talking together, working together, cooperating. I think that's a very, very good thing.
There are, of course, common denominators that all these virtual worlds share: Second Life, Entropia, Caneva, and so on. But one thing that makes Entropia somewhat different, apart from the fact that it's got a scenario, like it's set in outer space and there's still this conflict going on, there's actually quite a lot of scope to earn real life currency in there, isn't there?
Yeah, from the beginning, Entropia Universe has been built to enable a real cash economy. And I think that all three of those words are important. It's real cash. We back our virtual currency with US dollars 10 to 1. So if you've got 100 Project Entropia dollars, you can cash that out to $10 US anytime. And then we back that. We're licensed similarly to a bank in Sweden. And then economy. Since the beginning, we've built Entropia Universe to have a real economy. We have an idea of how important scarcity is in creating value. And when you want to build something in Entropia Universe, let's say you want to be an armor manufacturer, well, you've got to go buy all the different raw materials from different people in the world who mine those raw materials or hunt for them or things like that. You've got to go put all those raw materials together along with a blueprint that you need to acquire and then put it into a manufacturing machine to actually create that armor. So it really drives the economy on a much deeper level than a lot of other virtual worlds give the experience of.
Yes, you've added more elements of supply chain and the marketing element and so forth. But,
Yes.
would you compare Entropia more to a sort of a social interactive environment like Second Life, or is it more like World of Warcraft? Is it more game than virtual world, or the other way around, would you say?
Well, I think that it's a perfect question because people often say that we're like Second Life meets World of Warcraft, and I would say that we've got some great elements of both. We have a single instance of our world, unlike World of Warcraft where you have multiple instances and you may not be on the same server as someone in another part of the world. And we also have all of the great social interaction that you can find in Second Life, along with that persistent world. But we've got the storyline and the game elements of World of Warcraft that make it, exciting for the average person. You can come in, you don't have to create your own context and make up something to do. You can come in and jump into something that's already happening, and then you can actually shape the direction that it goes.
Now, here we are sitting in our studio, which is in Second Life, and there you are standing talking to us in Entropia.
Government and its partner building hundreds of virtual worlds inside of our universe. So pretty soon you'll be able to go from planet.
But we can't actually ever come into direct contact with each other except this way, via television. Don't you think it would be nice if it was possible to generate an avatar that you could take to any virtual world? It's the same avatar, essentially. I mean, how do you see the metaverse developing in broadish terms?
Well, I'll answer that two ways. The first way is that we at Entropia Universe, by building Entropia Universe as a platform, are doing kind of our own vision of the metaverse. We've got the Chinese Calypso to all of these Chinese worlds. We also have a partner, Creative Kingdom, whom you may not have heard of, but you've probably seen those islands that you can see from outer space in Dubai that look like a palm tree and the earth and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They're the guys who developed those. They're developing, and they've done a lot of things like real world casinos and theme parks, and they came from places like Disney and Universal Studios, and they're developing another world inside of our universe. So pretty soon we'll have space open up, and you'll be able to go from Calypso to all of these other planets, the Chinese planet, the Creative Kingdom planet, and then we've got many other announcements. We're building our version of the metaverse, so there'll be this diversity of people developing worlds, not all developed by MindArc. So that'll make it, I think, much more interesting and exciting. And then, I think to actually get to the point where we have full avatar portability, we're going to have to somehow break the barrier of light speed. And I'm not sure if that's physically possible, but we are part of an effort to do that. We are on the team with IBM looking at, metaverse portability issues.
Right. Okay. Well, look, thank you very much for your time. And make sure you keep your head down. Look out for your robots. Keep your gun handy.
Will do. Yeah, you bet. Will do.
And enjoy your day. Yeah.
Thank you. I've got a good security detail, so don't worry about me, but thanks.
Right. It was nice talking with you. John
nice
Bates,
talking with you too.